good hello and welcome back to another oh so exciting show of Wargaming, whenever, the most apathetic wargaming show on the internet because I am neither funny or charming, as we found out prior to starting this stream, which is why no one likes me. This is a true fact. Zach never lies about anything.
Painfully honest.
Tonight we have myself, Mitchell, and Zach here to talk about Warhammers. And Mitch is going to tell us the names of all 40,000 of them. So go ahead.
All right, someone roll Paralyzer by finger 11.
I feel like we will get
do you at least know
tonight.
Do you at least know the name of the main one?
Yeah. I mean, obviously, it's like the Emperor said, "You have defeated me, Horus. You are the Warhammer 40,000."
This is true. That's exactly what happened.
The Warhammer in question is called Galmaraz.
Yes.
It was wielded by Sigmar Heldenhammer and was forged by the Dawi and was gifted to him as a sign of their friendship.
And was wielded by the Emperors, most recently Karl Franz. I choose to believe that the end times didn't happen, so he's still wielding it.
What end times?
Exactly. Well, yep, that's decided. What end times? That never happened. Anyway, due to getting a bad case of Nurgle's rot, I didn't play any games this weekend, and neither did Zach.
Nor did I.
Because he's Yi, but white.
Yi, oh my fucking god, it's Yay, Kanye, Yay.
You know I'm doing it wrong just to mess with you.
It's like how you say fucking, what's his name? He says fucking Castellan Crow, he calls him Crow because he's a fucking dumbass.
Yeah, it's Castellan Crow, that's his name. Nothing funner to do on a Tuesday night than to trigger Zach.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Here's something that'll make him feel better though. I had a game against Orcs, 1,000 points. I was roundly defeated. I think the guy paid in total $150 for his entire army because it was made using third company, and it was basically like I think it might have been War Games at Atlantic Rat things, and everything was.
So it's like he's done like a sort of 40k Skaven basically sort of thing.
Yeah, that sort of thing. I mean, it was a very well made army. Like
Kill Slenderman thing. Yes.
His trucks were basically $4 toy tractors from the local toy store.
Glorious.
I know. He had what was it? He had like a model jet that he turned into a Dakar jet.
Glorious.
That's the best. Honestly, that's one of the best things you can do. Is like some of those things like. Yeah, you probably wouldn't use something like. Well, it depends on the scale, I suppose. Yeah, it's good. It's good.
But yeah, no, it was a good game. I learned a lot about how to play, as in, don't play like I usually do.
It's almost like the edition has changed and nothing works the way it used to.
Imagine that.
Yeah, turn 2 wars are pretty brutal too.
Ooh, and the War does good stuff. So wait. What do you mean new edition? Has he not fucking played since?
Oh no.
Oh, I was gonna say, I'm like, what did you talk about? I mean,
sorry, second turn was.
No, but I mean, like, because what John has said is like it's almost like a new edition.
Mitch, you only just recently started picking the game up again, didn't you?
Yeah, pretty much. I used to play in 4th edition, and
I mean, to
now
be fair,
it's in 9th.
Yeah, to be fair, like my first and only games prior to 9th were in 3rd edition, so I can relate.
It'd be like that.
It's almost like there's entire sections of the rules that no longer exist.
Yeah, I mean, Mitch, you're into what game? Have you gotten to game 10 of this edition yet?
No.
Yeah.
Oh, you're not even the double digits.
No, that's correct.
Yeah, that's what I mean. I mean, while he's been, back into it for a few months now, hasn't gotten a huge number of games in that time because he's a slacker.
And even then, I'm still more in the hobby thing than I am in the actual playing because I'm trash at playing, but I'm good at hobby.
Well, you know how you get better at playing the game.
You play more games.
The game.
You
Related.
Don't.
It's like in first.
You don't. Oh yeah, you don't even me. Related to that, Tabletop Simulator exists.
It does.
It's like in first-person shooters. You have to be trash before you can be good.
Correct.
It's like that with anything, really.
True, but yes, there is you could join the Garden and then occasionally play the TTS with us fuckers.
Now that's an interesting proposition.
You'll play against Cal's stupid list if you do that. I must warn you.
Yeah, they generally avoid playing against Cal because he's dumb. Would you like to fight 417 shurikens with Hail of Doom?
Look, with Armor of Contempt, it's not that bad at all.
Yeah, but he plays guard. There's no such thing.
I played Black
you play Black Templars as well.
No, because actually it's funny because the guy was sending like 54 shots from his Dakar jet, and hardly any of them were actually taking off wounds because they were piddlingly little.
You see, that's what the Death Guard is supposed to be like. Unfortunately, I am their commander.
And they just die.
They just die to everything.
I mean, how many of them did Anarchy and Murder?
Yes. Oh.
He killed like...
No.
He killed both your key characters in close combat.
He killed like 2 Plague Marines. And then he killed yes, he did kill the Plague Surgeon, and he killed that piece of shit sorcerer.
Yes.
No, he's Plaguecaster, but he's still a witch.
He is a witch. And he got murdered by a robot.
Mm.
Which is most
Oh, we're saying robot like Isaac Asimov says robot.
Yeah, it's because it's robot.
I don't think Isaac Asimov says very much of anything these days, but
this is
sure.
True.
If he's saying things, I am concerned.
Mitch, speaking of Black Templars and Necrons, have you seen Idic Beer 40Ks? I mean, of course you haven't. You don't follow Necron YouTubers.
Is this really?
Yeah, I'm mainly into Auspex Tactics and Morty and Glory.
Well, look, I'll send you a video later of a conversion that Idic Beer did that is absolutely fantastic.
Ooh, yeah, please do.
The question that he started with was, can you use a resurrection orb as a weapon? I'll send you the video later, but let's just say a Black Templar has a very bad day.
How a resurrection orb is a weapon?
Oh.
Deal with it, Zach.
But it's not a weapon.
It is now.
Since when?
I'll send you the video too. It's fantastic. Great conversion. I love it so much. It gives me ideas and makes me excited.
Like ideas. I don't like when people have ideas.
But yeah, so Mitch, other than getting absolutely dusted by orcs, because the greens are the best, obviously.
I would have been tabled on turn 3 if I hadn't called it after turn 2.
Oof.
That's brutal.
That is pretty brutal.
Oh wow.
So what did you take? What did you take? Because obviously he took a Dakar jet.
Terrible decision. Flies the worst.
Dakar jet, 2 trucks, 2 squads of 10 boys, 3 killer cans, 4 mega knobs.
He's a toys over boys guy. Rather than boys over toys.
And as well as a boss and a weird boy. The weird boy did 6 mortal wounds to my Redempted Dreadnought.
Sounds about right.
And then you didn't shrug them, you piece of shit?
Yeah,
also, you were playing Black Templars, not Guard.
Yes.
For some reason, I thought you were playing Guard in this game. And I was like...
No, I was playing Templars. I'm still working on my Guard army.
That makes more sense as to how he tabled you.
No, not necessarily, because Templars are like... Well, for one thing... Templars have a fucking shrug against mortal wounds. I'm pretty sure from memory, because they abhor the witch or some shit like that.
Yeah, but Mitch's Guard is just tanks.
Pretty sure. Where are the fucking rules?
They're not Grey Knights. What are you talking about?
Oh no, it's a Templar vow, isn't it?
Yeah, and I didn't run it.
Abhor the witch, destroy the rich.
I ran accept any challenge no matter the odds. Get an extra wound in combat. An extra attack in combat.
I don't like that that's not cumulative with Shock Assault because it kind of defeats the purpose. It's like, why would you ever take it? I mean, I guess like I guess because it's like you always count as an assault doctrine in melee. That's pretty alright, especially if you get some early charges in. But yeah, anyway, because I answer the question, I'm diverting everyone again.
Yeah. So basically he runs his 2 trucks up the board. One of them has a weird boy in it. The other one has his boss. He keeps his killer cans and mega knobs in reserve. So basically runs his trucks up the board. I can't shoot them well enough because I have like 0 anti-tank.
Because you have bolt rifles and that's it.
Yeah, pretty much. The most I've got is a macroplasma incinerator, and I had captain with the shield and the mastercrafted sword. So I had the captain, I had a chaplain, and I had an emperor's champion. That's my heroes.
Be rude not to. Heroes, what is this? Fucking fantasy battle?
HQ, whatever. So then I was running a 10 squad attempt of Crusader squad with bolters. They're supposed to be my objective holders. Then I had a 10 squad of assault intercessors, and I had a 5 squad of heavy intercessors. Heavy intercessors did nothing. Basically
because
nothing.
they're heavy intercessors.
Heavy intercessors aren't terrible.
They're just not great. Either are assault intercessors. I mean, assault intercessors are just like, why are they still on foot? Why do they not have a jump pack? Why do they still only move 6 inches, but they're supposed to get into close combat?
I want that jump pack so bad.
It's almost like they should just... Look, this is a topic for a different conversation. Please continue. I will derail this later.
Oh, good. So that's basically what I was running for troops. Then I had my Venerable Dreadnought as my elites, and my Redempted Dreadnought as my elites, as well as my Bladeguard veterans.
I think I hate Primaris.
I think Primaris is what Space Marines should have been at first.
Yeah, I think that, and this is the derailment that I was going to get into, that I'm now just going to do now. I think the issue is that they should have just, instead of bringing out this bullshit about Primaris Space Marines, they just should have refreshed the fucking Firstborn range.
Yes.
I don't disagree with you.
You want to build up the scale and get more detailed models? Fucking go for it, Cobbo, and just say, yeah, mate, you can just use your old shit. Because there is the Firstborn Marines are just so much more interesting. Like because like the Primaris stuff is like, oh, ostensibly they're more like the Legionaries because each squad has like the same weapons, but they're boring weapons.
They are boring weapons.
And are shit. Because again, assault intercessors, we are the choppy boys. We get there the same amount of, we get there at the same speed that everyone else gets there at.
You say, oh, I have AP -1 chainsaw.
That doesn't matter against most things because Armor of Contempt exists. Yes. Or something similar. I might get an extra attack.
Whereas, I mean, at least Grey Knight's choppy boys, they get teleporty packs and actual choppy close combat stuff.
Like shit. Fucking, I'm fairly certain, I would 10 fucking assault intercessors versus 10 plague marines, I'd give it to the plague marines.
Yeah, the plague marines would probably win that fight.
They would be choppier, even if they have less attacks, but they will kill you better.
I don't know if they'd be choppier. I think they'd be equally as choppy once you consider all things. But the plague marines are just going to last so much longer.
Yeah, and I think
unless
that's
I'm
where
rolling.
It's coming to.
Unless Zach's rolling.
Having said that, I was getting off like 50 attacks.
For sure. You would fucking blend. You would just blend. And you get the extra AP, which would be useful against Orcs as precious. Yeah. Because you're an assault doctrine when you're in engagement range. But like, I don't know, and like it's just the flavor. The flavor's lacking, and like I'm not anti-Primaris as a concept, but there is a bit of disappointment in a lot of stuff. Like, you know,
Look,
how
here's how we fix Primaris Assault Intercessors. Very
give them
simple.
fucking jump packs.
Without going with the obvious, give them jump packs.
Well, then we don't fix them. We get rid of them and replace them with Assault Marines.
We give them a free repulsor tank.
You mean an Impulsor?
That's the one, the Impulsor.
Yeah.
I'm just like,
Look, their names are very similar, and I haven't slept in 2
don't
days.
give them the fucking heavy support tank.
No, give them the fucking Primaris transport, because apparently they can't go in Land Raiders. But Terminators can.
Fuck.
Yeah, that I don't like. I really want to use a Land Raider as part of my army, but I can't do that, can I?
I love that Marnius Calgar can't go in his own bloody Land Raider.
Yeah, no, he can't anymore. Nah, sorry. Yeah, fucking a Peter Turbo can fucking fit in his, cramped fucking tacked on storage section of his Shadow Sword. But nah, Primaris Marine can't fit into a Land Raider.
Yep.
And he'll blame everyone else why it's uncomfortable.
Yes.
I'm pretty sure he'll just blame them in his head, though, and just kind of go and mumble the whole way.
Yeah, fucking Dawn, fucking piece
he'll
of
just
shit.
He'll just be quietly molding in the background there.
Pretty much. That's a very Peter Turbo thing to do. Oh, fun.
Because yeah, like, what's Black Templars without a Land Raider Crusader?
I know. It's iconic.
You know what you need to do, mate.
Land Raider Crusader, like 12.
Well, obviously that.
With this,
probably not 12 of them.
No, at least 12 of them.
Probably not 12. At least 12 of them either. Probably significantly less than 12.
Fine, 11.
You may just have to bite the bullet, bruz. You may just have to fucking
get Primaris Marines.
Firstborn Marines.
Yeah, that's looking like a possibility.
They're just more interesting. I'm just like,
I will. My first port of call is to grab myself some Eradicators, just so I'm going to replace the Heavy Intercessors with Eradicators, because Heavy Intercessors
Eradicators are pretty nice.
Eradicators are very nice.
The Intercessors
they are the Melter ones, right?
They're the Melter boys, yes.
That's what I thought. The Eliminators of the Snipers. I always get the two mixed
Eliminators
up.
are the Sniper boys that weren't very sniping, from what memory serves.
Although they do some serious damage. Like, I could actually put some Eliminators in my list and it would turn out well.
I'm looking at stats or trying to find the stats because
that's what I'm doing as well.
There are more elite slots in this fucking book than there are my entire books.
Look, there are more Primaris lieutenants in that entire book than there are data sheets in your book, Zachary.
Correct. That's because there are like 7 custodies. So yeah, you've got. Oh, you ignore the lookout, sir. If you give them the bolt sniper rifle, that's not bad.
That's handy, especially given that they changed.
Oh look, they have executioner rounds. That thing that only apparently Vindicare have, but now apparently regular Space Marines have now.
So dumb.
A las. That's a shit las cannon.
Yeah, but it doesn't cost as much.
It costs free, apparently. I just hate Space Marines.
Wait, that executioner round is rubbish.
It's not very good.
It's not the same one the Vindicare has.
No, Vindicare. It's either say Vindicare or Vindicare. Pick one.
I did neither just to mess with you again, because it's very easy.
I know you dyslexic cunt. You don't know what you're saying.
Good thing it's over 3 minutes, right?
This is true.
Oh yeah, no, it's too late for me. I'm already drunk.
Wow, filthy alcoholics.
I just look, yeah, like I mean, like I've seen other people espouse this belief, and I do genuinely believe that the Primaris line was meant to be just a straight up refresh, but they chickened out.
Yeah. Look, the
It
stupid.
wasn't meant to be a you can't use like these are you can't use old models. It was meant these are new things with new data sheets. I think it was generally meant to be just
Agreed.
bigger.
And they can't go back on it now, too.
No, it's too late. It's been fucking like
It's
what
way
5
too
years
late.
now.
Yeah, Primaris was the beginning of 8th.
Yes.
17 off the top of my head.
No.
Yeah, 2017. That's right.
17.
Yeah.
Yeah, which is a while ago now.
Unpopular opinion, though, I think it was good that Cadia fell.
Oh, fuck oath.
Look, Cadia stands.
No, it doesn't, you piece of shit. But
Cadia stands in my heart, but my regiment doesn't come from Cadia. Mine's the 401st Lyrian, so
look,
I use Cadian models because they look good. But
I have an army that consists of things that are often on Cadia these days.
Oh, of course you do. Of course you do.
But yeah, like how long has like I mean, Eye of Terror was 2003.
Yeah.
Something like that.
Sounds about right.
That was nearly 20 years ago.
Yes. That's how time
works. The storyline has not. Like, we've literally been the 13th up until 8th edition, of course. We had been in the 13th Black Crusade for like 15 fucking years.
Look, that sounds about right, given how efficient
we've
Abaddon
been
is doing
the 13th Black Crusade for probably longer.
And now he's running the Arcs of Omen as well, which is going to be interesting.
I'm curious to see what that's all about. I mean, like, I'm obviously the Death Guard and the Custodians are both very excited about the idea of boarding actions where there's no vehicles or monsters, because elite infantry reigns supreme, and that's basically what even the Death Guard technically aren't in terms of stat line and price because of their tanking, like the T5. They kind of are.
Orcs are T5, by the way. I didn't know that.
Orcs are T5, yeah, boys are T5.
Look,
that's ridiculous.
Orcs is
it makes sense because they're the biggest and the best. They's made for fighting and for winning.
But the fact that Space Marines have to wound on 5s is just wrong.
Well, that kind of brings it back to the whole, like, the bolter is kind of a shit gun.
The bolter is a relic of 15 years ago at this point.
Like, the bolter used to be. It's like that was the sort of like, okay, no matter what, against the majority of data sheets, the bolter does all right. Now, against a lot of things, the bolter just doesn't
do anything.
No. Not doesn't do anything. It just doesn't.
It just doesn't. Storm bolters still doesn't.
Still doesn't.
It just does a lot more. Doesn't.
Exactly. It just does. It just does a lot more. Not.
You know, I haven't actually looked at orcs in a couple of years.
Just close combat attacks. If I'm rolling 50 dice, I should expect to get more than like 3 or 4 wounds out of it.
Well, exactly.
Yeah, especially when orc boys are 8 points each.
Yes. Yeah, a 10 squad of 80 orc, an 80-point squad of 10 orc boys can, on the, in the turn that I'm not in combat,
they should just be dying.
Sorry?
They should just be dying.
Yes.
Look, I think
with that many attacks, with that many no, because you can't run your orcs because all of the things you have don't exist anymore.
Orc boys still exist. Thank you.
You don't have any orc boys.
No, I have.
You've got burner boys, and you've got war tracks. Neither of those things exist.
I have orc boys, Zachary.
No, you don't.
Yes, I do.
You got flash gits. Do flash gits still exist?
I don't have flash gits.
I'm pretty sure you have flash gits.
I don't have.
I believe flash gits are doing.
No, they're looters, aren't they?
Yeah, they're looters.
Okay, because there are no flash gits.
No, I'm pretty certain there are flash gits. They're making.
Surely they didn't get rid of.
They're making animations about Black Templars killing furries.
No, flash gits are a heavy support choice.
Oh, so they are. My apologies.
They're saying that they don't exist.
Look, here's the thing: is you have war tracks. War tracks don't exist. That's all that doesn't matter. Are as shooty as there is.
Don't exist. Death copters. Wait, since when did death copters not exist anymore?
Death Copters exist. They're fast attack choices.
No, according to Wahapedia. Oh wait, no, there they are up there. I'm dyslexic. Don't
They
worry.
finally released a new kit for them in the box they released with the sort of like earlier launch Orc Codex.
Are Death Copters any good now?
No, I mean they're fine. They're not bad. They're not good.
That's fine.
I don't know. No one plays Orcs. I don't have enough fucking knowledge about about that sort of shit. Unfortunately, no one fucking plays them.
Do war bosses still exist? Surely war
bosses
war
still
bosses
exist.
Pain boss, not a pain boy. What?
Pain boy exists.
Oh wait, there's the pain boy.
What the fuck's a pain boss?
That's what I was thinking.
Oh, he's a beast snagger.
Weird boy. Look, I think I need to get my orcs out again because I have the bestest weird boy ever.
Yeah, but you don't have enough orcs. You need to buy more orcs.
I don't have enough orcs for a big game because they're
No, you
so
don't have enough
cheap.
orcs for a small game.
I have 72 boys.
That's not enough orcs.
There's not enough orcs. That's only like 2 squads with 12 left over.
They go up to 30.
Yes, that's 2 squads with 12 left over.
Yes. So how
I mean, I guess you could divide it by 3, but why would you?
just to upset you mainly.
Everything upsets me. I'm very upset.
Here we go, truck. How many boys does a truck carry these days? Still
Not
almost
enough.
12. So there, squad of 30, 12 to go in the truck.
You don't have a truck. You have
I
tracks.
do have a truck.
No, you don't. You have war tracks.
I also have a truck. I think I know what I have, Zachary.
I will piss in your fucking mouth.
Please resist the urge to do that as much as you can.
I also miss looted tanks.
I do miss looted tanks.
That looted Leman Russes are good.
It's still not going to stop me from looting.
I mean,
that
they're not
Land Raider
because
in my
orcs
drawer.
have the shooting the guns, but they're cool. I don't know. It's tough. It's a tough life, but liking the fluffy side of things. And look, to be fair, like they're definitely doing more for the fluffy things these days than they have for a little while. But yeah, I don't know. The point is, death to the false emperor.
Only in death just due the end.
Yes, it will.
Look, duty never ends, not even in death, because we'll just turn you into a dreadnought.
Even in death, I still serve.
Yes, you will.
Look, the fallen shall be ever remembered as the Emperor's finest.
Glory to the first man to die.
An open mind is like a fortress with its gates unbarred and unguarded.
I'm expecting to be like smacked in the back of the head by a freaking
child.
Well, a child, but also a dark angel at any moment for my previous remark.
The fallen.
Yeah.
Fallen? No. Dark angels have always been loyal. I don't know what you're talking about.
They are the most loyal of all of the Emperor's not legions.
This is very true. Anyway, Zach, is there any news that's happened recently that I've just completely missed because I've been sick for like the last week?
I don't think so. I mean,
did anything nothing happened? That's acceptable.
Nothing exciting happened.
I think Cal was clapping on about some kind of like small amount of data from some tournaments that was like,
yeah,
but the sample size at the moment is not big enough to really draw any honest conclusions.
We have a new Aegis defense line.
Oh yeah, I saw that.
Why would I want that one when I can just make my own trenches?
Yeah.
3D printer go burr.
Like I don't need an Aegis defense line. I have plans already drawn up.
You don't need an Aegis defense line. You have guardsmen. You just put one row of guardsmen in front of the tanks to keep the tanks safe.
Look, exactly. I won't lie. Like having if you were a motherfucker on the other side, on the other side of the wall, the right side of the wall, you get -1 AP, which for guardsmen is not bad.
Yeah,
and I assume. I mean, look, I would check.
Having said that, though, I'm a tank commander at heart. I want to turn my opponent's battle plan into a DPS check.
Look, I'm looking forward to fighting your tank army, Mitchell.
Assuming I can actually get it done.
Look, even if it's not completely painted, it's acceptable. I just want to
noted.
I just want to blow holes in it.
Actually, I will fight it with Custodes.
No, you won't, because you're not picking them up forever.
I'm not fighting with Death Guard because I have no anti-tank.
Well, I mean, now that you say that,
I could just throw Mortarion at them. And then pretty much it's charge tank dies.
When
charge
has throwing Mortarion as a problem ever worked for you?
When they're not Necrons.
It didn't work for Horus, and it won't work for you.
I mean, no, I believe you are not correct.
Like, Zach, remember the time that Mortarion got taken down by warriors?
Remember the time that Mortarion got taken down by, like, probably 100 to 200 points more than him worth of warriors? Over several turns.
Yeah, what's your point? He was taken down by warriors. He got taken down by warriors. What's your point?
I'm going to make you play something that isn't Mephrit.
It's never happening.
Then I just simply will not play a game against you.
Mephrit is so much fun because AP -4 on everything.
It's just boring. Do something different.
Fine, I'll play Novok and run 60 flayed ones.
That's fine. I can kill flayed ones. But yeah, so the simple solution is the solution is the same. It's point Morty at thing die. Point bike squad at thing die.
Except, as we just discussed, pointing Morty at things doesn't usually work out.
Yeah, this is remember that remember that ridiculous fucking game we played?
The one where you had like twice as many points as had like 4,000 points, and there was four of us at 1,000 points.
2,000 points.
Was it 2,000 you had?
Or 2,500 maybe.
I thought it was more than that.
Oh no! It wasn't more than that.
It was dumb. That's the important bit.
It was dumb. And then you didn't kill the Demon Prince, and the Demon Prince made you regret that. He did not like it very much.
He unalived me. That was a bad
Bishop,
day.
we were playing. So we have a tendency when we play our game, so we don't like match play very much because various reasons.
It's just boring.
So we play Tempest. We play a lot of Tempest. But what we do is we also make sure we include an open war card. Like
just
a twist.
For more fuckiness.
And if we pull either in the Tempest card or the open war cards, you pull another one and use both, or you pull two cards and use both. We do that for both. So we could have a total, if the luck gods are willing, of like 8 different rules or something like that, or 4 different rules. I don't fucking know. Maths is hard.
4 different ones.
Anyway, we were playing, and there was a thing where we selected a champion, and they got what? Extra strength, 2 extra toughness.
Extra toughness, extra attacks.
Extra attacks. I had a toughness 10 Demon Prince with 8 attacks, and that was strength 8.
It was so dumb. Because
his warlord trait also gave him extra toughness. And then, shit like that happened. So he fought some obliterators. The obliterators died. He fought some marines. The marines died. Chris tried to put his Demon Prince against Mortarion. He died. And then he came back to life and he died again. It was good. It
was fun. Oh, look, Zach, the funniest thing about that was that the next weekend after
TMC
that,
and also R.
We did a 3-person free-for-all. And we drew that same champion card. And I made my Bloodmaster my champion. Korn was very pleased that day.
Is that the name of it? That doesn't sound right.
Yeah, the Bloodmaster. That is the name of it.
Skullmaster. Oh, Bloodmaster.
No, it starts with blood. everything in the Coordinate list starts with blood something.
This is true.
Shit,
It either
man.
starts with
Blood
blood or
Secretor.
it either
What
starts
the
with
fuck's
blood
a
or
Skullmaster? That's the cunt on the fucking Juggernaut.
Yeah. Korn was very pleased that day.
Korn often is, except for when Slanesh.
But yeah, so it was like strength 7, toughness 6, 7 attacks, AP -3, flat 3 damage. It chopped through rubrics pretty quickly. Although specifically Scarab Occult Terminators.
Ooh.
It chopped through them pretty quickly. It was most amusing. Oh, and then the 10 bloodletters that were behind it got in there too.
Bloodletters. Look, all I know is that at some point soon there will be
a Be'lakor on our tables.
Probably not, because none of us really care about Be'lakor.
I care about Be'lakor.
No, you don't. No one cares about Be'lakor. No, there will be a Poxbringer and some Plague Bearers in my Crusader list.
This is acceptable.
I must bring Pestilent Death.
Look, the Poxbringer is a lot of fun. The easily the best. I think it's a relic that you can give him. That means that any psychic powers he casts, if you roll a 7, it can't be denied.
It's undeniable. Yeah, I know. It's pretty good.
It's so much fun because the first time I used it against Chris, every one of his psychic powers that he cast came up on a 7, and Chris was just
Which would piss him off too, because he's like,
so good.
"What do you mean I can't use my stratagem for a 3d6 deny?"
It's like, no.
No.
Which then meant, my Plague Bearers were then damaged 2 on their attacks going into his rubrics. It's like, oh, you don't get your extra armor.
Shame.
And I'm hacking through them a lot faster.
The Tome of 1,000 Poxes.
That's the one. And also gives him an extra psychic power, which is fun.
It is, because he only knows 1, if memory serves.
Yeah, you give him that and he knows 2, and they can't be denied if you cast them on a 7. Which is funny, because the 7 is the most likely number to come up.
Because Nurgle is the best god.
Debatable.
No, Nurgle is the best god.
Which is why all of the Nurgle data sheets are aggressively meh.
Nurgle is the best god. Just wait until I fight you with a fucking... Boy, great... Word hard. What was I doing?
Word is hard.
That's the one. It's a great unclean one, and I give him one of the warlord traits.
Look, generally Virulent giving a warlord trait is a good idea.
A virulent touch.
Ooh, that one is nice.
Auto wound, baby.
It's not bad. It's not bad at all.
It's not bad. It's not bad. It's not bad.
It's not bad. Good.
It's pretty good. It's pretty good.
Anyway, let's jump into some over/under.
I know exactly what I'm going to talk about for under.
So,
as do I.
As always, Squats coin comes up Squats. I've decided Mitchell will pick over if it comes up Squats, and Zachary will pick under if it comes up Warhammer. Read into that.
You should get a better coin that isn't fucking Space Dwarf.
No, because that's the joke. It is under. What unit have you picked for us to fix, Zachary?
Well, it was something we were talking about before the stream started, and it would be something that makes Reese very happy. I think the Hive Guard are slightly underpowered.
Okay.
And how?
I mean, I haven't seen them in any list since the Codex came out, so yeah, that makes sense.
Or like honestly, just get rid of the cost for the Impaler Cannon. Problem solved. 60 points for so the whole thing is like, obviously, as anyone who has ever played a game or watched a game in the last 5 years knows, used every single fucking Tyranid army had 12 to 18 of these fucking pricks.
Oh yeah, they were a right nightmare.
And just as a comparison, we're going to have a look at the 8th edition datasheet. So, Okay, so here is the F. Well, first of all, they were elites. Gross.
They're now
18
heavy
points
support.
with 20, yes, and then 25 points on top of that. So they were maths, Jono.
What was it? 18 and
43 points.
25? Yeah, 43.
43 points, 36 inches, heavy 2, strength 8, -2, D3 damage, indirect fire, no benefits of cover. Bit gross. Now, in the new book, they're 24 inches, heavy 3, strength 6, -2, 2 damage. Still have indirect fire as long as they are visible to a friendly synapse model.
Okay, so
which
we can
is
see
fine.
stuff through synapse.
Correct. Still ignores
That
light
makes
cover.
sense.
And most importantly, which is quite nice, if they are targeting something that is visible to a synapse creature, they ignore any or all. You can ignore any or all hit roll and ballistic skill modifiers. So ignore the indirect fire. The issue is that obviously with the reduction in strength and I think AP, oh no, just strength. They stop being anti-vehicle, which was their previous role, and become more anti-elite infantry. But at 60 points per fucking model, and with a 24-inch range,
I mean, that's not cheap.
exactly. Yeah, they don't. It's like, okay, why would I bring them? Why would I do that? Why would I bother? I could bring anything else. I could bring some Carnifexes, which could probably do both roles, choppy and shooty. I could bring more probably not Gene Stealers, but like, you could bring some Raveners, you could bring some a bigger bug for a unit of 3, because a unit of 3 is 180 points.
I mean, speaking fluff wise, why would you not bring a Carnifex?
I mean, yes, obviously it is good for to kill and for to distract. They just and like for 50 points you can get a shot cannon. Now the shot cannon is by no means bad. Kind of has the old haywire rule, unmodified wounds of 4+, auto wound and successfully wound no matter what, and inflict a mortal wound in top of the additional damage. Now they're 36-inch assault 2, strength 7, -2, 3 damage. But you still don't really see them because there's better options for both those sort of roles.
Well, look, I mean, even if you took the 10-point cost off of the
you
Impaler
still wouldn't make them like
I'd take the
amazing
shot
and an
cannon.
auto take. I would still probably take the shot cannon, but there would be a purpose to take the Impaler cannon. Because I'm not going to take a Hive Guard for anti-vehicle. I'm just not going to do it. I will take a Tyrannofex. I will take an Exocrine.
Yes. I would take 200 Gaunts.
You would, and then I would shoot them all, and they would all die.
Have I mentioned my fever dream for how I'd change up the Tyranid Codex?
Oh, this could be concerning.
Shove it down a garbage disposal.
So, Gaunts, free.
I'm pretty sure I've tossed that out in the group chat at least one point before.
This kind of came up the other week, didn't it?
Yeah,
but
I think
would
it
it be
did.
like
we have talked about this.
There would be like a certain synapse requirement or something like that for them?
Yeah, something like that. But yeah, I mean, I'd love to see the living carpet.
Yeah. I'm not opposed. It's a tough one. And look, honestly, removing the point of the Impaler, the cost of the Impaler cannon is not going to make them suddenly a fucking meta unit again. But it gives them a bit of a purpose again.
Not even not making them a meta unit. I don't even think it really makes them like. It's still 50 points each.
I mean, they're pretty tanky. Toughness 6, 4 wounds, 3+ save.
I mean, by NIDs, yes, they're very tanky.
By most things, they're fucking tanky. What the fuck are you talking about?
It's still a 3+ save.
Okay, so what you're telling me is you have nothing tanky in your entire Necron army?
They're Necrons. They're tanky by default, surely.
They have
They're
other
not.
bullshit. And no, they're not. Although, you know what's really not tanky? Death Guard.
No, well, yes, actually, yes.
Actually.
They, with the current situation of the game, they, it's not tanky, and they don't like. It's everything. Everything these days is T5 with -1 damage. It's. I mean, look, they're like fucking look. On the topic of your piece of shit fucking coin,
Yes.
let's have a look at the blessed Hearthguard, the Einir Hearthguard. T5, only 2 wounds, 2+ save. Oh, just look at that. They have a 4+ invuln. Oh, just look at that. They have -1 damage. But wait, there's more because they have void armor, so you can't reroll wounds or damage against them, and they have got -1 AP. It's like, what if?
What if all of the rules?
I just look. I hate squats just because it's like, what if we just took all the good rules from all of the Marine factions and then put them all together? And then made them like, oh yeah, they are, they're 2 points more than Blightlord Terminators.
Mm-hmm. But I mean, as far as Hive Guard's concerned,
That's the same price as a fucking Custodian Guard.
Yes. Yes, it is. Because they have all of the good rules at none of the cost.
You gave those rules to a Custodian? Fuck, you'd be looking at 70 points. And would lose OBSEC again.
Yeah, you'd lose double loss of OBSEC. If you're on an objective and someone else has OBSEC, not only do they point out as 2 models each, but you count as half a model.
Exactly. Which means we count as 1 model because we count as 2 models. Because that rule would stay.
Yes.
Because they want to be confusing.
But as far as the Hive Guard's concerned, I just think they're too damn expensive. Even dropping the 10 points off, because personally, looking at
dropping
those
the
2
10 points off won't be enough.
The Shock Cannon, I'd rather that over the Impaler Cannon anyway, because as far as indirect fire is concerned, when you only have a range of 24 inches, you can probably resolve that with positioning anyway. And I'd rather have the damage 3 than damage 2.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, it's
that, and,
like,
you know, the mortal wounds against vehicles on top of that's just, it's just icing on top.
But again, I would just, like, I just bring a Terran effect or an Exocrine.
All that. I reckon make them 45 points.
Like, yeah, an Exocrine's 200 points. Heavy D3 plus 6, 36, strength 8 minus 3, 3 damage.
I reckon 45 points would be fair.
Terran effects, 170 points, 190 with the Rupture Cannon, heavy 3, strength 14, minus 4, D6 plus 4 damage.
Yeah.
Although
I suppose at least these things you can kind of hide.
Oh, you can hide these things too.
The terrain effects, isn't it?
Terrain effects has only got 17 wounds. It benefits from obscuring terrain, motherfucker.
Yeah, I suppose. What size base is the terrain effects on though?
120 by 92.
Yeah.
I will
so you can't draw line of sight is going to be difficult on that though, even with obscuring. That's a big base.
It is a big base. It's a big model.
It would suffer from the exact same problem that the monolith suffers from. It's just too big. And I mean, at a model of that size, it doesn't matter if you can benefit from obscuring or not, because you're not. That's never going to come into play because.
Sure is, because he is hiding. You can't draw a line of sight to him, and he is hiding.
No.
Anyway, the point is that nothing makes sense. Everything is bad, especially dice game.
Yes. But yeah, I reckon 45 points a pop for Hive Guard. Drop the 10 points on the Impaler Cannon because, as far as I'm concerned, those weapons are pretty much on par with each other, just slightly different use.
Yeah, pretty much. I think you would probably see. I still think you would probably see the Impaler Cannon more than the.
I'd take the Shot Cannon because I like the extra range.
Yeah, you don't like being close to things.
That's because I'm fucking permanently mentally scarred from fighting Death Guard for so long.
Yeah, it's not very good when Death Guard get close to you.
That's why I can't do Necrons with anything other than Mephrit, because I can't mentally overcome the need to not be close. Except for in our Crusade, where when I fought the Death Guard straight up, I kind of just went in close.
Yeah, but that's because you cheated.
I did not cheat.
You cheated.
I did not.
You cheated.
I definitely didn't list Taylor.
You definitely list tailored.
Look, I totally
list tailoring isn't cheating, it's just bad sportsmanship.
Look, is it really list tailoring when I put in my Crusade Force order of battle that they're going to have Gauss Reapers, knowing that I have to deal with Nids and Guard as well?
Yes, because the Gauss Reapers are strength 5, which means they actually are good against Death Guard.
They are actually good
That's
against
just
Death
playing
Guard.
the meta.
Exactly. See, Zach, it's
if
not
nobody
cheating.
else was playing the
Meanwhile,
meta,
I could have been
see
a
how that's
cunt.
your problem.
I could have been such an asshole, and I was a nice boy.
Look, I was nice.
No, you weren't.
I bought
Xenos.
rubbish
Xenos
Forge
scum!
World unit. I bought a rubbish Forge World unit. And it just kind of stood there and died.
It did get torn apart by Poxwalkers. It was very fun.
It did. But it kept the Poxwalkers busy for a turn, so worth it.
Did it though?
Yes. Actually, it probably helped them get closer because they got an extra charge in for some extra movement.
Yes.
Anyway.
You know what this game needs?
More dice, more randomness. All the missions should be completely random. There should be no more like match play mission packs. It should all just be Tempest of War at every major tournament. And they need to add more random secondary objectives in so it's even less predictable.
I was going to say that we need to be able to we need to have the fantasy mechanic of you fail forward as much as you roll on the charge.
Look, actually, before we wrap up, speaking of things that this game needs, I think that for 10th edition,
fantasy, and I need to be vampire counts.
Yes, but also for 10th edition, they need to bring back armor facings for vehicles.
I agree.
Yes. Different toughness depending on which side you're shooting into.
Yes.
They can still have the same armor save, but different toughness depending on which side you're shooting. So if you get in behind a Land Raider, it can be toughness 8.
My solution is
toughness
much
9
worse.
On everywhere else.
My issue with that is that, but my solution
is cause so many arguments.
Is going to make everything. Well, that's the thing. That is 100% going to cause so many arguments. No, what I was going to suggest is, and like I've talked about this before. So, I'm a big fan of the Total War Warhammer series.
Yes.
CA, it is a great series. CA have, and it's obviously a lot easier on a video game, but I also feel like it's doable, especially with fucking GW's love of books.
GW does love their books.
They love their books. You have 2 different fucking rule sets. They want their competitive game. You have a competitive rule set with the balanced data slates every 3 months, with the fucking points changes every 3 months, shit like that. And then you have the casual play.
Do you know how fucking confusing that's going to be?
It's not going to be that confusing.
It's going
because
to be so confusing.
No, it's not. The reason I say this is because competitive people that play massive amounts of competitive play, they don't play fucking casual games.
I'm more of meant for like battle reports and stuff.
Fuck the battle reports. Well, not fuck the battle reports. But like, quite simple is you fucking like when CA do updates, they'll be like, okay, this unit is probably overperforming in multiplayer, so we're going to increase the cost of them, or we're going to adjust these stats of them. Those stat changes and that cost to add them into the army does not apply to the campaign. Because
maybe
it's not a fucking issue in the campaign. Because the idea of the campaign, the idea is to be like that. Like, yeah, I just feel like because like armor facing, you can't put that into a competitive scene.
Oh yes, you can. I think it would be hilarious if they did.
You wouldn't, because everyone fucking piss and moan. So GW
will
never do it.
And moan anyway.
Yes, yeah, but they'll piss and moan more.
Neckbeard's pissing and moaning is basically the cornerstone of this hobby.
Yeah.
Correct. But like things like that, they're not going to bring back the complexity and the interest and like the randomness and things like that, like because it will mess up the streamlined nature of competitive play. So you need to have a separate thing. I think that's the only way it's going to work. The only way that you can, because like the people like us that prefer fluffier, more casual play, who want these rules, who want all the shit that's like, like templates and scatter dice and all that sort of stuff.
Actually,
I can't go back and play 7th edition. My armies don't exist.
Look, I don't miss templates at all.
Yes, you do. Templates are great.
I actually have to say, I think getting rid of templates it's something I hated at first, but now I've come around. I'm like, you know what? Maybe it's for the best.
Oh, I don't think it's a bad thing to not have templates, but templates are also good.
No, you're just wrong.
No, I'm not.
I think it creates a higher barrier to entry, personally.
I mean, like, obviously,
templates suck for one reason and one reason alone.
You can't decide whether something's been hit or not.
Yes, but also this issue is then compounded by the fact that even if you roll the scatter dice close, you can easily take 2 or 3 degrees one way or the other on the scatter, without your opponent noticing and without you noticing even. And you just do it subconsciously. Then on top of that, if you have the template in the middle of the battlefield, you're then trying to look at it from the edge, unless you want to lean right over and risk just pushing the table over. And if you don't lean over, you've then got parallax errors as to what you're seeing, and you're seeing something very different to what your opponent is seeing.
Cool. That sounds like a competitive problem. In a friendly game, it shouldn't matter.
It'll matter, and you know it.
Look, I would say let's find out by playing Heresy, but Custodes are shit in Heresy, so no.
So you're not willing to do it because you're too competitive.
No, they're just poo. They're just poo. Like, make me fucking 60 points per model or 75 points per model. I don't fucking care. But it's like, oh, you got a 6-up invuln save. No, that's fucking shit.
Look, no, Custodes are rubbish because they let the word bearers fall to chaos right under their nose.
Oh, look, honestly, it's all Big E's fault.
It is all Big E's fault.
And to be fair,
I just
right
want
under their nose.
Back. I just want armor facings back. That's all I want.
Look, armor facing's all well and good, but you only don't care about that because you have a monolith and it's fucking square.
It is square. I also have a Land Raider, and Vindicators.
Land Raider should be weaker at the back. It should be.
Yes.
But it's not like massively weaker.
Look, and on top of that, I reckon like if you shoot stuff like Land Raiders or Vindicators, something where the engine at the back, you shoot it in the back, it should have a higher chance of exploding.
I miss the old glancing penetrating hits, honestly.
Oh, so do I.
Yeah, like stuff like that just is
so
just
good.
nice.
But mainly because my most basic gun could glance your most advanced tank to death. And it was hilarious.
You.
Like, seriously, that was my strategy back in the day. Just blob of 20 warriors, all the Gauss players into your tank. It's like, sure, I'll hit with a bit over half of them, and then it's only 6s to glance. But, oh, look, I just scored like 3 or 4 glancing hits. Your tank just died.
Oh,
from my basic strength 4 gun.
Yes, we're never bringing back that rule for Gauss weapons. It's never happening.
That or vehicles should still have wounds. But yeah, that's ridiculous.
Yeah, just make it so there's different toughness for different sides. Or we could just write those rules in ourselves and just use homebrew rules like was just suggested in the chat.
Anyway, I have many things to ramble at you guys about because I'm reading the Talons of the Emperor page on 1D4chan. So we'll talk about that after the stream.
Yes. But yeah, as far as fixing the Hive Guard up, we should give them armor.
Give them armor attempts? I agree.
Yeah, let's give the Hive Guard armor
a 3+ rerollable invuln. Look,
everything should have a 1+ rerollable invuln, except for Death Guard and Custodes. This is a true fact, because James hates Zach and everything that Zach plays.
Everything hates me because
Zach, have
I
you
am
just
terrible.
considered playing every army that there is so that everyone gets shit rules?
I mean, look, I'm working on it. Garda next, then probably add mech, which is why elves are so powerful because I'll never fucking play them.
You could get squats. Before they get...
I will buy squats before there's new codex, which is going to come out in the next couple of months, with the other half of their army apparently.
Oh yeah, the new codex that they're going to send to everyone for free, of course.
Yeah, because they nerfed their codex.
They screwed up bad on that one. It's hilarious to watch.
Zach, do you remember scattering when deep striking?
Yes.
Because I hated it, because every time I would deep strike my monolith, it would scatter into terrain and die.
Like, this is the thing. Like, I'm saying bring back all these things. You're not realizing that obviously you've seen my dice rolls. You know I am going to suffer from these things more than anyone.
This is true.
I don't care. It is funny. It is fun. Give them to me.
Well, then how about for the rest of our crusade, and we should probably run this by Reese and Chris, but we're doing this anyway, and they don't have a choice in the matter. But scattering for deep strike is back. For the rest of the crusade,
dudes, I know you have a scatter dice, don't you?
I do have a scatter dice. I have several, actually.
I have none. Anyway, it is now 9 p.m.
It is. So we'll wrap up there. Thank you for watching and commenting in the chat, everyone. Like, subscribe, because I never know when we're going to be doing this, because I am just unorganized chaos incarnate. Do whatever happens on Facebook and Twitch, do over there. And as always, if you want to improve your wargaming, making your tabletop battles more epic, and doing that other thing that I've forgotten about because my memory is terrible because I am recovering from a cold, yeah, and we'll see you all next time.
Goodbye forever.